bevo.com.
So you have offices here in the UK in Brighton, and I understand that you sort of meet up with your global workforce as avatars on Second Life about sort of 3 or 4 hours a day. So you're users of your own product, which is great. So how many ideas do you have for improving Second Life, for your own ideas as customers of your own product versus taking ideas of other avatars and users outside of your employment?
I think a lot of the early experiments tend to be ideas that come directly from us within the company. But even there, of course, there are things that are suggested by everybody, us included, and then we pick out the best ideas. We originate experiments. We make small changes to the software that I think are driven by our own very specific strategy and belief in our ability to execute on particular features as opposed to others. But then once we get it into the marketplace, that's where the feedback loop of what people are saying about it as users, as customers, is hopefully the driver. It's then no longer our sort of piece of strategy. I think that people as designers, and especially people that are inventive and innovative, tend to greatly sometimes overestimate their ability to predict the future. And so they do too much planning and they don't have enough feedback. They don't take a look at whether the things they're doing are actually working in the marketplace. So that idea that you must get something out into the market early and see whether people like it and ask them questions about it and then try and make improvements to it without assuming that you know everything. I think if I could cite one thing that we did as a company, we were very careful and we moved very slowly. We moved quickly, but we made changes as we saw them working and as we saw people accepting them. We didn't try and forecast out a year and design a year's worth of capabilities into the product and then release them. We just didn't think that we were smart enough to do that, and that was fortunate because I think it was very important. And I think every individual manager, everyone working individually on execution, can remember that you frequently take a check and look at whether what you're doing is actually working rather than just planning it all ahead.
Interesting. So sort of no perfectionism allowed. You go into the market
Right.
and then you can get close to perfection, but not in the head.
That's right.
That's interesting because you've said in the past that in Second Life people can be more creative because they live without the fear of mistake like they do in the real world. The sort of downside is significantly less. So how do you think companies should best use Second Life as a platform for innovation and research and development?
Well, Second Life obviously has sort of, it's a digital world in which there's no cost of goods and there's substantially reduced distribution and merchandise, marketing and manufacturing costs. So the way companies can take advantage of that is by having a sort of a faster, more agile conversation with their customers in many ways about what they should build next. So I think one of the really interesting uses of Second Life is that it is a kind of a time machine. You can use it to rapidly see what will happen with a product or a service by presenting it to people in Second Life and then iterating on it with them.
bevo.com